Welcome to Unsigned 518. I am here with Bumrush. How's it going?
What's up?
Yo.
And so those that don't know, I guess we'll start over here to my left and just introduce yourself, what you do in the band, and then we'll go from there.
All right. I go by Vinycologist, United Crates. Kind of just a Albany hip hop dot connector for years. Done a lot of production for a lot of the artists around here. Work on a lot of my own stuff. Got, big into like vintage stuff and, just making music and trying to stay with the local scene, but not so much super involved, but, kind of just laying the cut.
My name is Asta. I used to go by the name of Paulie Nuggs. What I do is I'm kind of the backup guy. I help with the songs and all that other stuff. I don't really do that much in the group, but I'm just like the backups.
The hype man, right?
Yeah, the hype man.
He's our moral support. He's here, he's here to just kind of hang out and keep us kind of grounded to know that, you know what I mean?
I draw so many
We're doing
crowds.
this for the younger ones in the end.
Yeah.
Bumrush is for the children.
Yeah. Mr. Pigs, I am the rapper of the group, the voice of Bumrush, I guess you could say. My man Vinycologist, he handles all the production. He handles the cuts on the album. And he does do a little bit of rapping, but I'm pretty much the guy that goes in, lays the vocals down, and creates the songs with his production and his cuts. And it's a match made in heaven.
Nice. So I guess what we want to do is, and Mr. Pigs, you've been on the show before.
Yes.
I should have remembered what episode it was so I could direct people, but I can't remember. But go back in the same feed that you're listening to the show in, and somewhere Mr. Pigs has his episode. But this is a different project than, just Mr. Pigs or Pigsquisite. And I don't know if you noticed right up above you is my Pigsquisite hat hanging there.
Love it.
But I got to wear the orange.
It's got the Harley orange in it.
Yeah, it does. That's why it counts. That's why when people are like, "Where's your orange hat?" I'm like, "It's in the lettering. It counts." But so this is a different project from that. So I guess kind of tell the story of how it came together and what people can expect from Bumrush.
Okay. Do you want to start or do you want me to
start?
start?
Why don't you start this one?
Okay. So Pigs was a good friend of my brother, Ed Powers. What up,
Shout out to Ed Powers.
He he kind of introduced us. He was with this group of these other guys that I, have kind of looked up to us guys and been friends with for years. And, we've always just they been just laying in the cut when we were doing music and, being there just like this guy is right now, and they were just always hanging out. And, I think he heard a beat of mine on my MySpace page, if you want to take it back that far. And, he was like, ask your brother if I can use that beat. And I never actually even met him. And I was like, that's, something I made quick and threw it up there and whatever. And so he takes it and sends it back to me. And actually, he didn't send it back. I didn't hear it until it came out on his album. And I was like, damn. I was like, and then he killed it. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I should have just made him his own beat and gave him not just gave him something.
Right.
I was like,
something
here,
that was done.
But he wanted it. So it was and it came out incredible. And I was like, let's work on some other stuff. And I think that's kind of right. Is that how it kind of came
Yeah, I
off?
was actually working on my first studio album, Caught Up in the Cap City. And like he said, his brother Ed Powers used to be down with the Final Word crew, which is, the guys that I did a lot of music in the 518 with. That's, kind of like the record label, the crew, whatever, yeah. So, yeah, I went on my MySpace and I found this beat that caught my ear. And, you know, we connected the dots, and after we made the first song, we jumped in the studio together. He invited me to his studio, and we started working on the Bumrush stuff. And we are currently in our third installment. We have 2 albums out there on the internets to go check out. So yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So that would be Bumrush. It would be what was the first one?
All respect
Respect
due.
All respect due.
More respect.
More respect
Yeah.
due, and then this one is going to be with all due respect.
Correct.
And so, like, this is definitely not a new project.
No,
by
so
any
this is the
stretch
third
of the
one. The
imagination.
first one
Yeah.
we dropped, I think, in what was it, like 2013 or
No,
something?
2019.
No,
Yeah, 20.
the first one. The first.
Yeah, the first one dates back.
It was like 2013 or
Wow.
2014,
Yeah,
but it was
definitely.
done since like 2010. Like we were working on it like way back, I think, right? Wasn't it that far
Yeah.
back?
So what happens? The process is Vinyl gives me beats. I go record, and he pretty much has the vault set where you know, he keeps these songs until we're ready to release them. So you know, we just compile songs, tons of songs, and eventually they turn into albums. So here we are with our third project getting ready to be released, and yeah, it's been a good ride.
So basically, when you're sending Mr. Pigs the beats, like they're like the song is done, and then
No,
you write
no,
to
no,
what's
no.
that, or it
I'm
goes
sending
back
him.
and forth.
I'm sending him. Sometimes I'm sending him a shell.
Gotcha.
It's just a drum with like samples on it and whatever. There's no hook. There's no.
So
you
you
know,
start writing it together, essentially. Like,
Well, yeah, he will, or a lot of times, like I record a lot of my own stuff, and like, you know, I'll do rap songs and stuff where I MC and do that stuff too, because I always did it. Like when I was a producer, I always wanted to see if like, okay, you know, if you can flow over it and sound good over it, maybe the beat doesn't need anything extra, right? That was always hard thing
Right.
as a producer. Like when you overproduce something, you put way too much in it, and then once the vocals are on it, it's just crazy, and it's like it just doesn't sound good. So by being able to do that, you know, you're just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna hop on it and see if it sounds good, and if it sounds good, cool. Some of those songs were songs that I was working on, and I'm like, I'll let him hear them, and he's like, yo, I got to get on that. Like,
Beat
what's up
thief,
with that?
I'm the beat thief.
Yeah, well, because a lot of my best stuff, like, I'll save, you know, because I do it too. So I have a certain idea in mind for it, regardless if I might want him on it or not. But there was a lot of other ones. Just Step was a fun one.
Yeah.
You know, it was like some call and response thing that he hopped on, but it just turned out good. Like, and you know, so I'll send him the beats, and it's like a shell. And in the meantime, like, while he'll come over and knock 3 songs out in a morning in an hour and a
like
half.
this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This morning,
We were
yeah.
busy. It's been a busy morning.
Saturday
a busy
morning,
afternoon.
9:30. You know, so we put the work in, and you know, I might not be out doing as many shows as this guy or whatever, but like behind the scenes, you know, I'm trying to connect all the dots, and you know, I'm putting in interludes and making interlude beats and putting in dialogue, and you know, figuring out, okay, what's the track listing going to be like, and I'll give him back a CD 3 weeks later, and it'll be totally different than, you know, what it was.
So it's been, you know, 11 years at
Something
least
like that, yeah.
since this started, and then it's always kind of worked like that where you're going back and forth. Like, you don't MC much in the project, or
No, like, and if I do it, like, I'm the studio, so I'll do it on my own time.
Right.
He'll come over and hear it and be like, oh, damn, you know, or same thing with him. Like, today he came over and laid something down, and like, you know, like, we'll send our little text back and forth about like maybe what we're thinking about doing on it. But like, when I hear him take it to like another level, I'm like, oh, okay, like, this is a whole different thing that I've never heard him do. You know, and based on whatever I gave him, you know, maybe
Right.
it's a little out of the box, and I'm trying to challenge him, you know. But it works. It
Yeah.
works. It's good.
and then so, like, how long, you know, just totally hypothetically, but how long does it take to put together an album?
Oh,
like
I mean,
from concept to like, hey, it's done and ready to release.
go on
I
ahead.
mean,
it's really on him. 'Cause
I don't
he's,
really think we don't really put like time restraints on our projects. It kind of when it's ready, it's ready. So we just he'll send me beats. I'll get into the writing process. I'll go record with him, and then he'll put something on it, scratches on a hook, or
or something
like
needs
said,
a verse or something. I'll
interludes
throw a
or-
verse in there.
Yeah, but we don't really like to put like time restraints on.
So you don't
things. Yeah.
you're doing other things while this is
so like
working.
this one, we just
He's working on other projects.
Right,
I'm working
right.
on other stuff. We got families.
Right,
you know,
right,
you're
right.
just-
I mean, that's a good way to do it. It's just like time constraints or like, hey, we have this that we need to get done at this time can fuck up projects. Like,
Right.
you know,
like
like
we don't
being
never
like,
want to be rushed in creativity. You know, it's like
No, I'm a pretty, and he knows, like, I'm kind of a stickler. I'm a perfectionist for a lot of stuff, and like I'll change up the track listing a few times, but like I don't think I've ever had him come back and be like, nah, this ain't the way it's got to be.
Right.
You know, he and I appreciate that about him. He trusts my judgment in the whole thing. Where, you know, it's hard as a producer trying to tell an MC, yo, hey, maybe you want to do it this way or whatever, or, you know, maybe they do another take because I know you're better than that. But like, again, it all goes back to, you know, you're recording it once, you're releasing it once. So
Right.
if you're going to take the extra 5 minutes, you might as well just take that extra 5 minutes because you don't
Yeah.
want to beat yourself up.
Right.
Right.
Right. And once
Every time
you're
you hear
done,
that
it's
song.
done, and you can hear something
Right.
and then be like, oh, I wish I could, but you
But
can't.
he knows what he's doing. He comes in, he knocks out his stuff. You know, it's. I put in as much work as he puts in, and that's what I always do with these people. If they don't put a lot of work in, then I'm not going to give you as much time.
Right.
you gotta
You
match
know?
the energies, man.
Yeah.
Gotta match that.
Yeah, that's important.
For sure.
And the fact that we're in the lab together, you know, that's different. You know, it's not like we're sending beats to some guy who's like a well-known artist and we're never meeting the guy. You know,
Right.
like there's chemistry there.
Or
Yeah. Well, speaking of beats and chemistry, should we hear something?
yeah,
Sure.
let's get into it.
What are we gonna hear?
We got a song called Supernumerary off the new project. This is an exclusive, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, first time everybody's hearing it.
First time. Listen, so tune in.
Shout out to Andy for having us in here.
Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to Andy, Unsigned
Appreciate it.
518.
Shout out to the
We
Metro
appreciate
Land.
you.
Everybody supporting the
sure.
local music scene, EQX, all that good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Word.
All right. So this
Empire.
is what is Superluminary. You said
Supernumerary.
Supernumerary.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't remember that word?
No. Fuck no.
So there's a movie called Crime Spree that was written by Harvey Keitel, and he says it in the movie. He says, yeah.
Okay.
He
All
says, yeah. He says it's supernumerary. He's like, what? He goes, what the fuck does that mean? He goes, it means better than expected.
Oh,
That's it.
all right. Sick.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Supernumerary, Bumrush, and then we'll be right back.
Because this is also the first time you're in the lab with the beat doing it. So do it a couple times.
I'm the champ of the camp, hands down, there's no denying it. Looking for a 16 on a song, then I'm supplying it. High, I spit a bunch of bars, they go off the meter. I ain't paying Paul shit and still robbing Peter. Heater after heater, catalog is built up. Ain't up on the mic, then I probably got a tilt cup. I like to drink when I rhyme. Helps me to relax, cause I think all the time. I'm a mess with the stress. Lately worrying less, cause I figured out that I ain't in a hurry to impress. Who the hell are you to tell me anything? I'm just working on the bars like the one the Henny bring. But listen, not too many get me. Flow is like me on the water riding on a jet ski. Wayne Gretzky and I'm not into the hockey. Doing this for 10 plus, confidence and cocky. When the curve to the microphone, don't even try to grab it. That's all what transmit. To the microphone, don't even try to grab it. That's all what transmit. To the microphone, don't even try to grab it. That's all what transmit. Grab it. Never been a winner, so an L don't phase me. Suck it up and keep it pushing, wifey think I'm crazy. Lazy, never that, probably never worked with Pat. If you did, you'd understand, usually the first to rap. Facts, I get it done, writer's block and never none. One take, Jake on the mic, that's forever, son. I spent some time on the craft. Years of dedication, said I rhymed and you laughed. Well, the joke's on you, bro. Polishing my style and they loving my new flow. Totally true, though. Tell me that I'm lying. Trying to put together a racket my people buying. Flying under the radar until it makes sense. Dying to create another hustle when the cake's spent. Pay rent, no homie, I own a home. Haters, it's a hobby and hopes that I'm blown the pole. When the comes to the microphone, don't even try to grab it.
That's all I transmit.
Comes to the microphone, don't even try to grab it.
That's all I transmit.
Comes to the microphone, don't even try to grab it.
That's all I transmit.
Comes to the microphone, don't even try to grab it.
That's all I transmit.
Can't stop the bum rush. 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 The bum rush. The bum rush. The bum rush. The bum rush.
All right, so that was Supernumerary Bumrush, and that one is on the upcoming album that there's no release date yet, but it's coming sometime soon-ish.
Yeah, I'd say anticipate a summer release.
And then that's how many tracks are going to be on that one?
There's 13 on there.
Oh, wow.
Tracking out at 13. It's about 45 minutes.
Damn.
So, yeah. And there's other stuff that we took in, there's always extras. They're still hanging around.
We got
Cutting
some
room floor
stragglers.
stuff,
We
but
got some stragglers.
yeah.
And so that's something that, you've got 13 songs, but you're probably still going to work on essentially all of them, or some of them you're like, no, that's done. Like,
No, they're all done.
they're all completely
It's
done.
complete.
All right.
We just listened to the final
We
car
just got
test
no
on the way up
listen,
here.
in on the ride up.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of that, here, I'll give you.
What?
I brought this in, so this is a 1 of 1 because I actually pressed this off my computer as a car test on the 17th of January. So,
Oh, wow.
and the album has changed since then.
You hear it
That's
first.
that's the album?
Yeah, but pretty much it's not tracked out in the right track listing. The track listing is close. And I think there's a different interlude or two on there, but you're the only one with that copy with
Nice.
that interlude and whatever.
I'll cherish that
So
shit.
so yeah, give it a
So,
try.
let me ask you, like,
That's considered out of promo.
all right. Like track listing. Like,
Yeah.
how much time goes into how the album's going to lay it out? Like you said, interludes and stuff. Like, do you start with interludes you want to use? Like, how does that the layout of it work?
We just compile a bunch of songs, and I'll go through them, and as I'm mixing them or doing, I'll dropouts on the beat or whatever, I'll add some interludes here and there, and then usually I'll end up putting the track list together all the way at the end. With this one, I kind of track list changed a couple times, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So we got all the songs done, and that's when the fun begins. It's like, all right, now we get to check out the actual album. So we sit, we listen, and then I take the album home with me, and he's got the album for himself, and we try to figure out the best order of the track listing. So,
And do you do it kind of like matching end of one song to the beginning of another song?
Yeah,
shit that
I mean,
flows into each other?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
There's
I
got to be a certain vibe to it, you know, like you know, you
don't want all the good songs.
well, you
I'm just
gotta
kidding.
you gotta start off strong, right? So
Well, the
so
good
you
songs
gotta
that
give
we
'em-
like, right?
you
'Cause
gotta
other
give 'em
songs-
the heaters
Sorry.
right off the rep, because if you know you're listening to an album firsthand, you know you want to hear some slappers in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole album is great. Like, there's not
It
But
really
is.
you
Every
gotta
song is
catch the
great.
attention and then have peaks and
Right,
valleys. to
right.
like-
We got
right.
songs that flow into, you know, the back end of the track listing that, you know, fit very well. Like, every song
Kind of winding
has
it
a
down.
place,
Right.
has
Right?
a placement.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
I
it's
think
not
I
like
think
there's
that's the
songs
most
that you
important
don't
thing.
like, you know, like they're
No,
your
every
fucking
song-
songs,
every
and you
song
like
is
every
good.
single one of them, you know. So it's, and like mostly the reason I ask is because we're going through that. Like we
Yeah.
recorded an 8-song album, and it's our first one, and we're like, well, how do we? Where do we go from here? You know, how do we know what's the track?
You know what? You'll
I'm
know
like,
when you know. You kind of just move them around.
Spend
You know,
some time listening and rearranging and, you know, see what fits best where it fits, you know, and
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. You know, and even just like making different mixes and then listening to it beginning to end, and then be
Yeah.
like, no, let me switch the whole thing.
Well, yeah, that's why we still do the car test.
yeah.
You know,
for
because
sure.
it's like a lot of people are going to be listening to it in the car or
Right.
off their phone. I do, you know, I'll email it to myself and listen to it over my phone, and it's just like you're going to be doing those different mixes anyway. You got to adjust levels. You know, a vocal or something might be too high, and you notice it later on.
right.
You know, that it just gives you an extra chance to say, all right, you know what, let me try and switch a couple of the songs. And it
Yeah.
usually works. It usually works. Like with this, you know, it came together, and at the end of it, I was like, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
track order is very important in my opinion.
Yeah. it's the
you know.
hardest thing, I feel.
And from taking a listen, everything flows from one track to the next. Everything seems to flow pretty well, and that's what you're looking for. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, I guess I just
think we
gotta
got
start
the
like
I think we
listening
got
to
the
them.
formula figured out for this one.
Yeah, that's it's like I said, it's just an interesting way to look at it because like I kind of, you know, as I'm an album guy anyway. Like I'm
Sure.
someone that likes to listen to an album beginning to end. I don't
Right.
really like the shuffle, especially not within an album. You know what I
No.
mean? But
Right. So, like I said, it's important. Like if there's a song that, you know, maybe when I say it's not as good of a song, it's just not as good of a song to you because maybe I've heard it 100 times and
Right,
I mixed
right,
it. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
And it's like older to me now. And I like some of the other ones a lot better because maybe they're a little bit newer. So,
yeah, that is hard. You know, with the amount of time that like you sit with a song
yeah.
before anybody even hears it. You know, like
right.
you're like, here's someone hearing this song for the first time, and you're like, I've heard this song 700 times in the last
Right.
6 months.
But
And
it's
like-
also the best feeling in the world when you're pulling up next to somebody in your car or whatever,
right.
and you have something that you just mixed, you know, an hour ago, and like the world doesn't even know what it is. Like they haven't heard it,
Right.
you know? So it's like as a musician or an artist, I think that's one of the best things about it is because you know it's yours and like it's like you created it and you don't even have to share it if you don't want to,
Right. That's a good point.
you know?
So, you know, we were talking, I think we're going to do a little live performance in here, weren't we? Weren't we going to do that?
Yeah, I think so. Ace Duh, what do you think? You ready to do some live stuff?
Yep. Definitely.
So what do you think of the songs? What do you think of the songs you heard so far? Give us your opinion.
So what I think of the songs I heard, they're definitely like they're kind of good.
Kind of good, but kind
no,
of.
not kind
I'm
of,
just
but like they're very good. It's like it's good.
It's good. So, what are we going to do here then? What's the song?
IRS.
Live song is going
IRS.
to be called IRS, which is a
Essence.
track off of our first project that we did together.
Yeah.
All right. So, the beats are made by Vinacologists, and then we're going to
Yes,
have
everything is put together by Vinacologists. I
He
do
comes
the
in,
rapping.
blesses the mic. That's great.
That's it, man.
Kills it.
and then we'll have Mr. Pigs and Ace doing the vocals here live in the Dazzle Den. So it's IRS,
Let's
Bumrush,
go.
and then we'll be right back to wrap it up.
Unsigned 518.
Gimmick.
Shout out to
Hey, they oughta
gynecologist.
sell a lot of records with that gimmick. boy.
Bumrush.
Oh, when you don't get the gimmick, man, you just pick up papers to roll it in. Oh. Hey, well, let's light it up, man. Oh, this isn't real, man. I just
I got the bill collector calling, baby mama's balling. Told her that I gotta get this money and I'm stalling, so I'm headed out of state if I can make out with some cake. But don't you need a little dough before you go and start to bake? So how the hell can I get high without a video to drop? Guess it doesn't really matter if you're making music non-stop. Non-pop, nothing but that raw shit. Kinda like when cops came on the block and you ain't saw shit. Oh shit, the bills are due again. I'm trying to generate this paper and the cycle never ends. Prince got my back, and if I need them, then they got me. But I'd rather bum a buck than wind up just a photocopy. I'm an original master of ceremony, so give me the fucking mic and I'll show you that I'm no phony. That may explain some of the reasons that I'm broke. Yet I say up from the scene to purchase green to rolling smoke.
Oh, wow, man. Hey, that's the biggest joint I've ever seen, man. Where'd you get it? Really?
I got the rabbit ears with plenty of beers. Still waiting on the fucking come up. It's been many years. Ain't shed a tear over it. Just learned to adapt and reconstructed the design to put Albany on the map. Don't give a crap about a lot of shit that's spoken. Let this cracker crack the nut and fuck shit up to get you open. Smoking blunts and sour diesel, then I'm evil with the mic. I strike a 16 when the racket hits the needle. I need my people to keep it near to the speaker, cause when they hearing the music, they know that the comp is weaker. Critique is talking trash, man, they ain't got a clue, because I've been up on the scene that didn't just come about the blue. Overdue is how I'm feeling like the rest of them, so now it's time to put some anthems out, hang with the best of them. I got the matching hand and vinyl's got the gas. If you don't think that we gon' blow, then listen, you can kiss my ass.
Hey, how about a little light?
All right, that was IRS Bumrush live here in the Dazzle Den. That was sick, guys. Thank you for doing that. So that's it for this show. And Bumrush, I want to thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to come up here and do this. And before we go, like I do with all my guests, I want to give you a chance to say what I refer to as your gratitude. So, Gynecologist, we'll start with you.
All right, man. First, I want to just thank you for having us. Thanks for inviting us to the Dazzle Den.
Man.
You know, I'm glad we got to come. Pigs, thanks for hooking it up.
Yeah, man.
Organizing it. I'll thank a couple people. I just want to thank, my family, because I take time away from them for this kind of stuff. Everybody, Ed Powers, Pigs, Asta, all the Albany cats that are keeping it alive, Exquisite, some of these guys, my man Dave at Empire Live, Teddy, all those guys. Am I forgetting anybody? Probably, but
Always forgetting somebody.
yeah. Shout out to anybody that's ever supported us and bought our stuff and came out to shows and all that stuff. It's very cliche to say, but we really do appreciate that, and we're always cooking up new stuff for you. All right.
Asta, you're up.
Well, my first shout out, I would like to give a shout out to my brother, because he's been so helpful to me. He has made me angry sometimes, but if he's listening to this, thank you for being a part of my life. My second shout out I want to give to is the obvious, my dad. He's taken me.
We're related?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
It's funny. It's the first time it's been mentioned that he's your boy.
He's given me the steps to rap and DJ and do everything. And my third shout out I want to give to is all the friends I made, all my friends that I made in school. Shout out to them, because they're really cool, and they said I was even a good DJ, a good rapper, and they helped me a lot during school.
Nice. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Do I want to shout anybody out? No, I want to give
Shout
a
out
shout
to Pigs
out
for putting
to,
up with me.
I gotta give a shout out to my wife for allowing me to move around.
Oh yeah,
And
shout
do
out
what
to
I
her.
do
Shout out to
with
her.
this music stuff. It's not always easy. Constantly having to go to the studio, constantly having to go out and do shows, and she's definitely been good with all of that stuff. Very supportive. She
Definitely
comes
one of our
out.
biggest supporters.
She's my camera person sometimes, so she definitely gets
Behind
a
the
major
booth.
shout out.
She's behind the merch booth.
She's behind the merch booth.
Everywhere.
I want to give a shout out to my son Ace Da.
Thank you.
You know, he's been a big part of what I'm doing over the last couple of years. Now that I've incorporated him into the mix, I want to shout out Gynecologist, you know, for doing what we do. Shout out to the Final Word crew. Shout out to the local venues that allow us to perform. Empire Underground has been, you know, one that I've been
shout out to
doing
Valeni.
lately. Yeah, shout out Mike Valeni. And shout
Brick
out
by
to
brick.
the 518 home team, Chase Crown Kite, Exquisite, Ab the Autocrat. Yeah, and if you guys aren't busy,
Animal
we got a
Cracker.
show coming up, which is
The record.
March 15th. We got 38 Special coming into town. Empire Underground. I have tickets available. If anybody needs them, get at me. Mr. Pigs 518 on the Instagram. And I think that's going to do it for me, man. Thank you for having us. I appreciate you, man.
Of course. All right, so they are Bumrush. I am Andy Scullin. This is Unsigned 518, and I'll see you on the road. Unsigned 518 is produced and hosted by me, Andy Scullin. New episodes are available every week wherever you stream podcasts. If you would like to help support the show, please like and subscribe wherever you are listening, or you could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/unsigned518. If you would like to advertise on the show, send me an email at unsigned518@gmail.com. And to be a guest on the show, reach out to me through Instagram at unsigned518. Take care of one another, and I'll see you next week.